Hey everybody, Vicky here, the Words Lady, and today we are doing a challenge, and today is day one of From Writer's Block to Bestseller. And we are going to be talking about a couple things. We're going to be talking about discovering your killer topic, and so that you know exactly what to write about. And we're also going to be talking about which book writing step you should never, ever skip. So I actually have two cameras on. I have one on Instagram and one on Facebook. And the one on Facebook has a little coily thing holding my phone up. So hopefully it doesn't jiggle too much as we go along. So again, it is a 3-day challenge from Writer's Block to Bestseller. Let me know that you're here. Say hello. Tell me where you're from. I want this to be really engaging and interactive for you so that you can learn a lot and have fun during the process. We're going to be talking about books, and sometimes it sounds a little bit scary, but we're going to take the scary out of it, right? We are going to be doing a contest as well for my Easy Writer book, and that book was named after my signature program, which I'm going to tell you a little bit more about in a little bit as well. And you will get points for commenting and doing homework and all those fun things. Let me make sure that I am live streaming all to the right place, and we will get going. Definitely pop your name in. Tell me where you're from so that we all get to know you during this process. Hey, Shar in Colorado in the house. In Instagram, we got Maverick and Boz Dog. Hey, Pamela from Harrisburg. She met me in Speak and Write 2018. Awesome. All right, looks like we are live streaming, so let us get started because I don't like keeping people waiting. So for those of you who don't know me yet and may have just joined this challenge because you saw it scrolling through your feed, I'm Vicky Gould, also known as the Words Lady. I'm a book coach, and as a result of working with me, my clients are able to become best-selling authors who are able to share their stories more impactfully, grow their following, and turn readers into clients. I am always on the lookout for entrepreneurs who want to make a bigger impact, to make a difference in the world and create positive change through sharing their story and writing their book. Hey, Teresa. So I'm told I have a way of breaking things down that look hard to simple steps to make it easy to understand for you guys, take the scary out of things. So I want to help you to be a easy writer. So hashtag easy writer if you want to be a writing maniac and make it easy for you too. Hashtag easy writer. So 100% of my clients who finish my programs become bestsellers, and I'm a 10-time best-selling author myself. I've helped 92 others become authors to date. Hey, Vivian. Hey, Maverick. Thanks for typing in Easy Writer. This is really cool. I feel like such a pro going in live streaming in two places. So I want to share a little bit before we get started on how this is going to be set up. So first, I'm going to share some tips and secrets about writing your own book from my past experience and my clients' past experiences so that you can become a bestseller as well. Then I'm going to give you an assignment, right? So that you can anchor in your learning. And I really encourage you to do the assignment. I know a lot of people jump on these things, you get busy later, whatever, but please make sure you do the assignment because the people who are in action are generally the most successful people. Thanks for typing in Easy Writer. There's a little joke about how I call the hashtag a pound sign. So it's like pound sign winning. Okay, but I won't go into that right now. I'll remind you a little bit later about how to win the Easy Writer book that we're doing a contest for. Part of that is comments and part of it is doing your assignment. And at the end of each day, I'm going to share an offer with you that will extend this experience if that's something that you want, because, in our short time together in 3 days, I can't cover everything about writing and launching and doing all your stuff for your best-selling book. All right. Okay. So today we are going to be talking about how to discover your killer topic, right? And the step that you should never ever skip. Like never ever 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 skip when you're writing that book. But before we go into that, I want to hear a little bit more from you again. Tell me your top struggle regarding your book so that in the next few days, I can actually make sure that I address those points. Hey, Marcus. So while you're typing that in, I want to tell you that even though I have been able to help many and accomplish a lot through writing my books and sharing my own stories, and like to me, stories are the most important thing that you can do in your business. There was actually a time in my life that I was trying to outrun my own story. Go figure. So it was back in 1989, and it was the second semester of my senior year of high school, and it was another potential horrid night with my mother. My dad was gone, so that meant that my buffer was gone. Now, my mom, she stood 5'4", but when she screamed and got angry, I could swear it was like she was 6'9" and 4 times my size, even though she really weighed about like 110 pounds. Hey, Tracy. So it seemed that, I must have been a reminder for my mother, of all her greatest failures. For some reason, I reminded her of the things that she couldn't do or couldn't have. And I don't know if it was because I had her eyes. I still have her eyes. I have her fiery personality. I don't know what it was. But all I know is that night she had me in a headlock. And every now and again, I boldly put her in one. And she yanked my hair and I yanked hers back and she grabbed my arm and I got away eventually. And I ran up the stairs and I said, I am done. I am done. I am so done. And I just furiously started packing my things, For some reason, I found a bungee cord in my closet. I hooked it to the leg of my canopy. Like none of this was planned at all. None of it was planned. So I took the bungee cord and I hooked it to my canopy and I tied my sheet to the end of it. And, I like spy movies. I don't know about you, but it's not like that where like you could doink, doink, doink really gracefully down the side of the wall. I should have known better because with a bungee cord, you just kind of go plunk. But it was okay. I was okay. Don't worry, I was okay. I saw light in the distance and somehow I ran towards that and called a friend to come pick me up. And I vowed that I was never going to go back. But, the words kept going through my head, that story that I was trying to outrun. It replayed over and over and over again. Things like, you're not going to amount to anything. You're not enough. Lay down on the floor and die. You're worthless. I wish I never had you. Because my brain and the thoughts just went with me, But once I became successful, I actually didn't want to tell that story because in my culture, it shames the family name. But since then, amongst all the tears and the confusion and the healing, because I know that my mother did the best that she could, and I really do love my mother, and I know that she loves me as well. But amidst all the confusion, the tears, and all of the, why did I have to go through that? I realized how much you can turn your pain into your purpose. You can turn your mess into your message, as you may have heard before. And that is how you bring value and purpose to the things that you've gone through. You can become that wounded change maker, that wounded healer. And I became committed to helping other people do exactly that. See, I first had to learn how to heal my story and share my story and embrace my story, right? Then I could teach others how to make bestsellers out of theirs. And you can become a way shower as well through your story. So I'm sorry I missed a few comments in here. Rosie says, knowing what to write about and overcoming belief that I have nothing valuable to write about. We are going to be talking about that for sure. Vivian says, where to start with a particular story for the book. Awesome. Let me scroll back. Feel like I don't have enough content. You feel like you repeat yourself. Guess what, Pam? We're going to talk about that too. We actually do need to repeat ourselves a lot. Let me tell you how many times that story that I just told you, I've told. And I've only started telling it since August because, like I said, I was afraid to share that story. I was afraid that people would have judgment, that it would shame the family name, that it would be bad. I thought all those things. Faza, hi Eunice, love you too. All right, so let's get into some of this content because this is what you're here for, right? Killer topic. Let's figure out your killer topic. Teresa's, my dilemma is deciding what part of my story to start with. We are going to get to that. Gosh, is it day 2 or 3? I don't remember right now, but we are going to get to that. So make sure you stay for all 3 days. Now, the killer topic. I venture to guess that you probably all have multiple things you could write about, right? Most entrepreneurs are multi-passionate. Yes? So comment below if you feel like you have a lot of topics that potentially could be put into a book, right? We're proud of these multi-talents. I'm proud of the things, but you could shoot yourself in the foot if you try to write about all of it. If you give a brain dump, we used to call that when I was a stockbroker, puking on their shoes. If you tell people too much stuff, they become overwhelmed, confused, and whatever. I have a tendency, I'll tell you that right now, of fire hosing people and giving too much content, and then people are like, and you're gonna do that with your book if you put too many things in there, okay? So narrow it down, niche it down. So the first thing you need to understand as an entrepreneur writing a book, now notice I didn't say an author because there's a difference. As entrepreneurs writing a book, we are using that book as a tool for visibility, a tool for marketing, a tool to get our word out, a tool for our story, and we care less about the royalties because we are going to make our profit on writing the book as an upsell to our coaching packages, our online products, our courses, and the other things like that, right? Vivian says, I have a lot of topics, you don't want to puke. I don't want you to puke either, all right? So first you understand that the book is not your profit center, right? As an entrepreneur. You want your book to generate income and clients for you and help you to become that expert in your niche for the credibility, right? So you have to have that book line up with your business, right? So I could probably, because I used to be a wellness coach, put together some sort of healthy cooking book, but it's not going to help my business now of helping people write books. So I created my last book called Easy Writer that lines right up into my signature program, which is called Easy Writer. Right? Okay, so hopefully you understand what that means, right? That you have to make it connected to your business, right? Give me a thumbs up if you're getting what I'm putting down so far. So your topic has to align to your business. Right? You've got to know your audience and nail down the message. It's got to be the same, who your reader is and who your audience is. So you have to aim towards that. I'm always talking about if you don't know what you're aiming at, you're always going to miss because there's no target, right? So what are the benefits of working with you? What problem do you solve for people? Who is that perfect person who would be a candidate for your book? Hey, Sergeant James and Diana. So who is that candidate? What is it that if they heard you say would perk up their ears? Huh? You want to have their ears perk up again. Oh, I need you. I need that. So tell me some of your answers below, right? What is it that would perk up your audience's ears? So like I said, don't go off and make a smoothie diet book when you're a coach on eliminating food sensitivities, thinking that it's similar enough, because it's not similar enough. It's really got to make sense to the reader, and it has to connect the book to your bigger business, or else they won't know that they could hire you or should hire you as their next steps. Hey, William. Hey, Lewis. Hey, Paulina. Right? They need to know from your book that the right next step is one of your programs or coaching with you or whatever product you have, right? So think about your prospect's journey to becoming a client with your book as a tool, right? And this has to flow right into it. So it's really, really, really important that it is connected. Yes, 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 yes. Thumbs up. All right, and this actually flows right into what we're talking about here, flows right into this very important step that you cannot skip, all right? It's super duper duper important that you do the organization of your book before you even pen one word of your book. It is imperative to the success of your book. So the things we've talked about, you haven't even begun to sort out, the chapters of your book or, any of those things, right? We're just talking about organizing the book, making sure it aligns right so that it's going to do what you want it to do, okay? So, because now you have an end goal in mind before you start any project, like do not skip this step to determining what this is, right? One of the things people tell me a lot when they're talking about their books is they feel like it's all over the place. They want to make sure it flows and sounds good and it's meaningful. They have a hard time finishing because they're not sure what to put in it or where to stop because it's not focused. This is because there's no end goal in sight like we're talking about. You cannot skip the step. So ask yourself, what is that product? What's that package? What would you like people to get help from you with next? What's the package that you have that's the next logical steps? Hey, Mandeep, then backtrack and figure out what topic makes sense and is really, really, really super juicy. What do they need to hear from you before they take the next steps to getting to your product? Have you ever thought of this? Yeah? No? Yes? No? Let me know what you think so far, right? This also means that an important component to your book that can't be missing either, aside from, making sure you do this pre-book step, the important component is seeding. Lewis, you said no. I'm not sure what you're saying no to. Is it no, you aren't getting it? Or ask me a question if that no means something that you need help with, right? So this important piece is seeding. It's the marketing piece that helps the reader to know that you have something bigger, more in depth, to help them go even further, to guide and hold their hand. This is how you grow your list. This is how you collect emails, because Amazon is not going to give you the emails of the purchasers of your book. Yeah, darn stinking privacy policy. Stinking privacy policy. They're not going to share with us who bought your book. They're just going to give you the counts of the people who bought it, but you'll never know who they are unless you seed and market and put things in there to collect those emails, right? Lewis says, such a wise woman. Oh, thank you. Just logged in. Sorry for saying, okay, so that was an accident. All right, cool. So I'm glad that was an accident. Now, I want you to imagine this with me. If you had a book that was focused, that turned readers into clients, and you knew what product they were going to buy from you at the end of it all, how would that feel? Yeah? How would it feel that you knew where the book was in the client journey? That book had a purpose. It's not just an expensive business card. It's not just something that you're writing for vanity's sake. Now, side note is, if you want a book for vanity, I'm not going to tell you it's wrong. I'm just going to tell you you won't get ROI on it. And for most entrepreneurs, we want some sort of ROI, right? Lewis says, feels great. Awesome. Vivian says, great stuff, so much clarity, good stuff, juicy stuff. You're welcome. Pamela says, aha. All right, so how would that change your business? If you had a book that could do that, how would it change your business? Getting to bestseller is great. But what if your book actually did all this? It's so much more. And that's why I say I take you from blank page to bestseller and beyond, because it's the beyond that most of us need after the book is done, right? So most people don't even think about this. They don't see the possibility because all they're thinking is bestseller. And I understand that. I totally understand that, because it seems like just writing the book is this monumental thing that once you get done, it's like, oh, phew, I got done. But if it's an afterthought to go, oh, well, what is the book going to do for my business? How am I going to use it? Then you might have to rewrite the book or write another book, because it's not going to lead your client prospect into a client. Like it's not part of the path, right? Yay, Pamela says, I'd be celebrating. Phil says, grateful for the clear explanation. Yay. Hey, Nacho. So, all right, you got what we went over today, right? How to figure out your killer topic and what not to miss in your book writing process. So here's your assignment for today. Post in the group. Now, if you're on Instagram, my Facebook group is called Write Your Biz Book - Using Your Story Wheel. Lewis says, now books are ebooks. They're ebooks and they're print books. We want both, because if you're at a speaking engagement, you want to be able to monetize that book. And sometimes if speaking conference coordinators can't pay you, they might be able to pay for a swag bag with your book in it. So if somebody has 200 people and you can sell them a book at a discount for their swag bag, which they have a budget for, but they tell you that they don't have a budget for speaking, think about that. My book is $10. I'll sell it to you in bulk for $7. 200 people watching. That is what? What is that? What is that? $1,400. Oh, you just got paid. Woo, 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 woo. Yeah. Yes, Vivian, take us, Vicky, infinity and beyond. Yup, to infinity. Yeah. From bestseller, from blank page to bestseller and beyond. Like if you dial my phone, my voicemail actually says that. Okay, all right, Lewis says 1,400, money in the bank, right? Woo, 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 woo. So we're making changes in the world, like positive impact and everything, and we're getting paid, like hello, right? Okay, so I was about to get to the assignment, right? Assignment, and remember, you commenting and you doing the assignment is earning you points so that you can win the Easy Writer book. Right now it's in digital form. I only wrote it at the end of October. The print version is coming out. So if you want that book, if you want it signed, post in the group what product your book is going to lead to and how the topic of your book relates to your product, right? So it can be one-on-one coaching. If you don't have a course or a product or a thing, it can just purely be one-on-one coaching or an intensive or something like that, right? If you're on Instagram, my Facebook group is called Write Your Biz Book. So you'll have to look for that so that you can post your assignment in there. Lewis asks, how many books have you written? What are the topics? All right, so 10 books, many different topics, 2 wellness, some anthologies, some about entrepreneurship, and some about writing books. All right, so tomorrow we're going to be talking about how to write your book in 60 days or less, plus how much of your story you need to include. So this will be helping those people who are saying, I don't know where to start with my story or what to put or how to say that, right? So, early on in my business, I realized how important stories were. Not just because they create great connections, but because they're journeys that are meant to be shared. So that's why I'm so committed to helping people birth their books and make their mark. For so long, I shared my safe stories. Give me a thumbs up if you know what I mean, that you're kind of just, moseying along with your safe stories. And it wasn't until I started sharing my other stories, which you know what I mean, right? It wasn't until then that I shared what was really going on in my head. Thanks for the hearts, guys. I saw the true depth and scope of the impact that I could have if I shared those unsafe stories. We sometimes think that what we have to say isn't important. I've seen that scroll through. That other people don't want to hear our story. I'm here to tell you that it matters. Hey, Sophia. It matters, and it matters to that person who needs to hear it. And I'm here to tell you that your voice needs to be heard. And you are the only one who can muster up the courage. Now, I can try to motivate you, I can try to inspire you, but it's in your hands. You have to muster up your courage to tell your story. Nobody else can do that for you. So I challenge you to set aside those fears of what if it's not good enough? What if it doesn't make sense? What if no one reads it? In exchange for the, what if I change the world one person at a time? Because, you know, it's kind of like that starfish story. Have you heard the starfish story? So there's this little boy and all these starfish have washed up onto the beach, right? And he knows that if they stay there, they're going to dry out in the sun and they're all going to die. So he starts one by one, and like there are thousands upon thousands and a monstrous amount of starfish, and he starts one by one just throwing them back into the ocean and saving them. And somebody comes by and says, why are you bothering? What does it matter? There's so many of them, you can't save them all. And in that story, he says, but it matters to that one starfish, and he picks one up and he throws it into the ocean. Your messy, somewhat incongruent, little screwed up, not quite put together story matters to that one person. That is going to be their lifeline. Your story is going to be something that they were that starfish and you threw them back into the ocean. All right? So think about that. It matters to that person. And what's really cool about what I get to do is that when I help you with your story and you help other people with their story, like this really excites me because I'm a mathematician as well. There's an exponential because there's that ripple effect, right? So I get to help you to get your story out, to write that book, and then you're throwing starfishes into the ocean, and I'm taking you as a starfish and throwing you in the ocean, and oh my gosh, we're all starfishes, and we all get to be saved. Yeah? Okay. Now, this may be a jump for you if you're not ready, and that's okay, but I promised I would share a little bit about this. And, you know, like I said, if it's not you, then that's okay. It might be a jump if you're not ready. If it is something that you want to do and you're ready to hop over your fears, I think you'd be excited to find out about my Easy Writer Guaranteed Bestseller program. It's currently enrolling. There are some extra bonuses, extra big bonuses coming up for Black Friday that I'm actually going to give you a little bit early for being in these live streams with me. Paulina says, great analogy. Tracy says, thanks, really helped a lot. Vivian Sanders says, thank you, Vicki, for throwing you into the ocean. Yes, Tika, hi, Tika. So if you're interested in finding out about the Easy Writer Guaranteed Bestseller program, it gives you a step-by-step process and formula to write your book, seed it properly, market it to bestseller. And I take the scary tech out of self-publishing and make it super simple for you. And we help you to make your stories and other content meaningful. So you have a page turner, right? It's one thing to get somebody to buy the book. It's another one to get them to read it. You want it to be a page turner. Keep them on the edge of their seat and make a difference in their lives, right? Phil says, I love being in the saltwater. Throw me in. Yay! Hey, you know what? I've been thinking about, you know, what we should call ourselves. Maybe we just need to call ourselves starfishes. I kind of like that. Hashtag starfish. Anyways, if you want to go check it out, you can go to VickiGould.com. I'll throw it in the comments. If somebody has it and wants to type it in, that's great. It's VickiGould.com/Amazon-group. And if you are truly interested in this and you're ready to make the commitment to write your book, all you have to do is ask, and I will actually give you a $500 coupon code to top off all the Black Friday sales that I will let you know about by the end of the week. All right, so remember your homework assignment for today. Do you need me to repeat it? Okay. I'm like so breaking all the rules of marketing because I'm telling you multiple things. We gave you tips. I'm telling you about winning a contest. You have an assignment and you can join Easy Writer if you want. Hey, Joyce. All right, so the assignment again, post in the group, write your biz book, what product your book is going to lead to, and how the topic of your book relates to that product. All right? So that is what you need to do for today. And then tomorrow, we are going to get into some more juicy content. So be here again at 1 o'clock. And if you have any questions, post them below. I'm happy to answer them. All right? Okie doke. I will talk to you all later. Bye.